hope you're having a good day. So I'm sitting down to react to Foodie Beauty. I've got a bit to catch up on. Wasn't feeling too good yesterday. I was up till 2 in the morning because the neighbors upstairs were moving at 2 in the morning, so I didn't get much sleep. So no reacting yesterday, but I've got stuff to catch up on today. So I've been keeping an eye on Foodie, collecting stuff on Twitter. Yes, I've heard that she went to the airport and she allegedly fainted, although many parts of her story did not make sense, did it? No, no, not at all. Just fainting at the airport and they didn't send her directly to the hospital, taking a whole bunch of insulin without eating, and she's a diabetic and has been for a while, and she chose to do that. Something don't smell right in the water. But I'm going to sit down and react to the live stream that she had called All Right Members Only and get my thoughts to it, as well as show you guys all the Twitter peeps. And there's quite a few because I dare to take a day off and rest. How dare I do that? How could you do that, Rose Thorne? Who do you think you are, taking a day off with Foodie Beauty? But you guys know what time it is. It is time for the Twitter peeps. All right, it's time for the Twitter peeps, and I am all set and ready to go. We are already there. So those of you that are on Twitter that you'd like to follow me on Twitter, there's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. And for those of you that don't like Twitter, that's okay. That's why I do the Twitter peeps. So let's start with the first tweet, courtesy of Fondue Spiteful Beach. Foodie Beauty, not Chantal Sarot, flying from Damascus, Doha, Montreal on Qatar Airways at the end of October 2025, admitting to rug smuggling Syrian medicine into Montreal on this live stream. Oops. What's this? Okay, we got timestamps. It says that. Okay, I got to take some medicine. Salah ordered my medicine. I'm going to get like 5 packs of Symbicort, 5 packs of brain pills, 5 packs of metformin. Actually, I should get more because I'm not going to have health care for a while. Carrying prescription rugs. Yeah, I know, YouTube lover. No, they don't if you have medicine. That's an illegal package. Like, they don't care. It's just for my sugar, diabetes, my brain, and my asthma. Here in Syria, you can get all of those meds over the counter. Same in Kuwait. You don't need to have a doctor prescription for those things. It's different here. It's weird, huh? Oops. I wouldn't be doing that if I were Foodie. I wouldn't be, testing the boundaries, but that's just me. The Tone Knob says Foodie Beauty is live looking like a swollen tick about to pop. She needed some attention to distract her from being a lonely, sad, pathetic blank with no morals or redeeming qualities. She must have figured out smoking on cam is a no-no. Someone must have reported her. Yeah, about that. So for those of you on my channel, this is something that you might like to know. I don't know if you guys have heard yet, but YouTube is changing its policies. And for those of you that, find something offensive or against TOS on somebody's video or live stream, just some information you might need to know or want to know. So YouTube has added a new category for reporting. Anybody exploiting an ED. That's right. So if somebody's on camera and you feel like they're exploiting an ED or an eating problem, there's a new section on the report just for that. Also, smoking on camera is a big no-no, and notice that Chantal is not wanting to come on camera and smoke her shisha nearly as much. So maybe somebody reported her. So isn't that something? And I'm sure she's not happy about that, because if she was planning to go back to Canada and get on camera and bees and smoke and eat, well, 2 of the things that she likes to do, she can get reported for. So moving on to Dried Up Twitter Hag says, oh, Foodie Beauty can't find housing. I distinctly remember her making fun of people who live in trailers. At least I have a trailer to live in. You know what, Twitter Hag, home is home, no matter where you want to make it. I don't see a problem with somebody living in a trailer or a shack or an apartment or a condo or a house or a tiny home. Home is home wherever you decide to make it. We all live differently, don't we? But all of those things that Foodie used to say about people talking about FFG supposedly living into a Motel 6 room. Chantal can't even afford a Motel 6 room. See, this is what happens, Foodie, when you look down your nose at people and you're judging people for where they live. You were high on the hog then, not so much now, but now you're looking around for a place to live in Canada and you're having a problem. And the people that you once put down, I'm sure they have enough room to laugh at you. All right, here's something interesting for y'all. Cats for Happiness, saying this is an Asian fishing cat, and I love him. So not all cats hate water. Some cats, even out in the wild, they love to fish. You know, cats can be natural predators. So this cat obviously loves water. And it's a pretty kitty. Cats love to hunt. They have that hunting instinct. Oh, there we go. This is an Asian fishing cat for those who have never seen one. Oh. This is a cat caper right here. Kitty in a supermarket taking a fish and running off with it. Free food, why not? Don't you have to go in the water for it? Nature is amazing says, I'm not trapped inside here with you. You're trapped inside here with me. So this bear decided, these two pigs will make a great meal. But that pig right there is standing on business saying, we're not your dinner. Get out of here. Look at that. It's pretty severe when a bear is like, But that pig was just standing on business. You leave my sow alone. You ain't touching her. Who do you think you are? I'll come and get you. Pigs can be very protective, as you can see. Mrs. H says, exactly how does Foodie plan on paying rent every month if she's begging for the first month right now? How long does she think the idiot Beezers will believe her stories? See, that's a good question. I don't know if the Beezers are thinking about that. I know Foodie isn't. It's not really a concern to her because she feels as long as she's got the Beezers around giving her money, that they'll always pay for all of her expenses. So if they set her up in an apartment for a month, what's going to happen the following month? And the one after that? And the one after that? And the one after that? She's making enough money she could pay all of her doggone bills. But she wants to save her money from YouTube as party play money. I don't think the Beezers get that she wants them to take their hard-earned money and give it to her so that she can pay all of her responsibilities and her bills. And whatever money she gets from YouTube is just like, let's play around and do what we want to do money. She has no intention of taking over and saying, thanks, guys. Thanks for setting me up. I'll take it from here. Dorky Blankstain says, if Chantal makes it back to Canada, she can't afford to live here. Average rent for a one-bedroom is close to $2,000. That's just rent. Somehow, I don't think Wanda the Wallet's pockets are that deep. Well, even if they are that deep, I don't think Wanda's going to want to pay forever. I mean, there are good-hearted people out there that might go, listen, we get it. Getting set up is the hardest part. It's the most expensive part. So we'll get you set up. But just because somebody gets you set up doesn't mean they want to pay your bills forever. And it's up for Wanda to figure out that Chantal will always keep coming to her and saying, Wanda, I'm so glad you're here because you got the money and I want to take the money from you. All right. Lori says, Foodie Beauty is live looking like a Middle Eastern Barney complaining about reaction channels. Y'all are so wrong. I've heard people call her Grimace. Y'all are doing Grimace dirty like that, don't you know? Like, listen, I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s, and I used to see those commercials for Ronald McDonald with Grimace and the Hamburglar. Y'all are doing Grimace dirty like that. Don't do Grimace dirty. That's part of my childhood. Don't do that. T says Foodie Beauty was in Pizza's live talking about food as usual and asked him if he is willing to do a time warp movie with her. The Beast is confident that she will be able to bring back her old views. Left her a lovely message. What was the lovely message? Let's see. It says, I see Foodie Beauty, the fainting Fupa princess herself, crawling into your live chat trying to hijack the vibe and beg for her fallen beaters back. Girl, don't you have a fake house to hunt, a scam to run, a lie to invent, and that long, luscious hairpiece to comb? Beast, you're 41 with a credit score that couldn't rent a tricycle. Blood sugar levels that could power a bakery, and a marriage that's as real as Narnia. Oh my God. I cannot with this roast. Ooh. You've got the wisdom of a broken Roomba, the morals of a pyramid scheme, a future bright as 12 a.m. on power outage, and your verbal skills make sloths look like motivational speakers. Oh my God. Dang. People don't despise you because you're super morbidly obese. They despise you because you're morally bankrupt, a liar, a scammer, and a chronic animal blanker wrapped up in a walking pity party. So please log off, grab a fainting couch, and rehearse your I'm scared for my life performance. Maybe throw in some fake tears for extra seasoning. Chantal, didn't you bring enough trouble to Pete's? I mean, you nearly got him in trouble with that whole GoFundMe thing. So now you're back and you're going to his live, trying to bring your beaters over to your channel. Girl, you're not even in Canada yet. You're not going to be there for another 3 weeks. You are just looking for attention. You don't get enough on your channel. You got to go to somebody else's channel and try to grab it up. All right, Sandy Quesadilla says, riveting content from Grimace today. Told y'all, leave Grimace alone. He didn't do nothing wrong. Let's watch.
Yeah, I'm going to be buffering here and then. Hey, Chili Chi.
Is that a new abaya? I don't remember seeing that one.
This is so awful. Don't hate me and cancel me. But
well, we'll see about that. Mrs. Flupa Booty says, okay, theory time. She's lying and telling Salah that she's being denied apartments to force him to let her stay. Or she's purposely applying to a lot of places she knows she can't get. Or I'm wrong. Happens a lot. I actually agree with your theory, Mrs. Flupa Booty. I've been saying that for a minute. That would be right on par with Foodie. That there are all kinds of places to stay. People in her own chat, I have said, girl, go get an extended stay motel. No first and last month's rent, no security deposit, no credit check, no check on the bankruptcies, no bank statements needed. Just go to an extended stay motel. You can rent one for about $2,000 for the entire month. Maybe a little bit more, but still, it's a lot cheaper than renting an apartment. She could bees all she wants to. All she needs is herself and her phone, and she's good to go. She don't want to do it. So do I think that she's purposely applying to the luxury apartments so maybe she can halfway lie to Salat and say, I'm looking for apartments? And she wouldn't be all the way lying because she is. But at the same time, she knows doggone well she's going to get turned down because of all the requirements. And yeah, maybe using that as a way to stall and stay in Syria for as long as possible. You know what I think, y'all? I think Foodie knows that when she comes back to Canada, there are consequences waiting on her. That the moment she touches down in Canada, karma is going to kick down the door with steel-toed boots. It is, and she knows it is, and she's trying to stop it, but all she's doing is extending her stay, but she's trying to avoid the inevitable. She can only hold it back for so long, and she knows it. But so that's the foodie way. Stalling something versus fixing something. That is how she's always done things. Colleen Morton says Pete's got a day job. Looks like he's getting ready for Foodie Beauty to return to Canada. You know, this is the crossroads for Pete's. So he's finally getting his stuff together. Good for him. Here's the crossroads, Pete's. One side of the road, you can stay away from Foodie. You can work and you can get yourself together and go your own way. Or the other side of the road, hop right back into the cauldron with her. Right into that toxic soup. And you know it's going to be toxic. Is that the thing you want to do? Hey, do what you want to do, Pete's. But you're an idiot if you do it again. How many times have you done this dance with Foodie? How many times have you done this toxic dance with Foodie Beauty? More than once. What is that old saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. This will be like his third or fourth time. He knows what she is. He knows what she does. She's not stable. Anything at any time could happen to her. He's very aware of this. So if he jumps back in with Foodie, I don't feel sorry for him. I really, really don't. Fat Cow says, I'm going to say it. I'm beginning to suspect Foodie Beauty was never actually going to get to Canada at all, least alone for a vacation. She's going to claim being medically unable to travel, then refuse to pay people back because she was going to go, but it's out of her hands. Well, here's what I think. I think all that PayPal money already gone. Hey, Beezers, remember all that money you sent her on PayPal? I believe it's already spent, gone, finished, vanished, poof. It's the only money she's got right now is the YouTube paycheck coming up. If it's money that's being held and she has no access to it, she probably still has it. But once it's in her hands, it's already spent. Promise you that. So when she goes to y'all and says, I'm broke, start asking questions about where did that money go? You got over like almost $1,000 on PayPal. That money's gone. L's RPH says, OMG, Foodie Beauty is getting discouraged. Her apartment search isn't well. She keeps getting denied all the places she likes, you guys. She's so pathetic. I can't stand it. Now she's saying maybe she'll sleep in a tent or move to a cheap country. She's so dumb. You know what? She acts all tough. She puts out this tough attitude of, I don't care. I'll sleep in a tent. What she says and what she does, though, are two different things. She's trying to make it seem like sleeping in a tent is not that bad. I'd like to see her set a tent up to begin with. Let's see Chantal put a tent together and erect a tent. And she's going to do this in Canada in the middle of winter when it's snowing, when it's really cold outside. Where are you going to plug in your CPAP, Foodie? There's going to be nowhere to plug it in. So I'll just set up a tent. I don't care. Well, that's what you want to do. If that's what you feel you must do, then I guess you must do it. But I guarantee you it won't work for you. All right. Lucky Lola says, okay, so yesterday Foodie Beauty mentioned feeling paranoid and like everyone is out to get her. And then today she says she hears voices. She keeps pushing that she's insane and very mentally ill, which is true, but one of two. Okay, let's watch.
Sometimes I'm paranoid and sometimes I hear voices, but it could be people outside. But it sounds like it's in the hall.
Isn't it funny that all of this talk is starting to surface right when she's supposed to leave? To me, it sounds like Chantal stalling any way she can, claiming a medical crisis or event, talking about hearing voices in her head. Like, what are you trying to do, Foodie? What are you exactly you trying to do? You trying to force Syria to keep you? They won't. They'll send you home if they have to. Aw, Yogg says they found each other. Look at the baby. Oh, time to take the baby home. Look at the puppy. How could you say no? Yep, Frog's got the right idea. It's time to go home and it's time to take the puppy with you. Big old fluffy boy. Aw, he's a good boy. Look, he's just like, I'll be good. Yep, you got a new pet. Just take it home. Don't try to fight it. Yup says, you're not taking insulin, Foodie Beauty. There's been a shortage in Syria for years, and whatever supply they do have is only available at single-digit locations and reserved for its citizens. Special Ted should be aware of this, and if so, then he's in on this scam. Okay, what do we got here for screenshots? All right, let's see, May 21st, 2025, so that's this year. The low availability of insulin reported in our study is in line with what's been reported about insulin's availability in low, critical shortages of insulin, anesthetic, specific antibiotics needed for intensive care, serums, intravenous fluids, and other blood products and vaccines. Let's see. And there's that. So how in the world is she getting insulin over there, especially a lot of it, if there's a short supply in Syria? And isn't it weird that before she told us she hasn't taken insulin the longest, and suddenly, all of a sudden, right before her trip, she's got a whole bunch? And how is she able to have insulin anyway if there's problems with the electricity? You got to keep insulin refrigerated. So a lot of things are not making sense here. Nana Spike T says, no way did Foodie Beauty pass out, hit the ground without injury. My guess is that she started thinking about what Salah would be up to once she was gone and decided she must stay longer. Salah, you might be stuck with her for life. Well, the girls don't leave their partners. They really, really don't. Like all the tarot readers have been seeing it. Like she is stalling. She does not want to leave. Lucky Lola says, what the F? Okay, what's the clip?
Sometimes I'm paranoid and sometimes I hear.
Oh, we already saw that. Next. Yup says, tourists aren't just given insulin in Syria, Foodie Beauty. After the war, they only have one factory producing it, and their limited supply is allocated for Syrian citizens and those with diabetic emergencies. You're full of crap. Okay, it is extremely unlikely and dangerous for tourists to attempt to attain insulin in Syria due to the near total collapse of the healthcare system. Severe shortages and the high risk of procuring unreliable medication make relying on local supply impossible. Travelers with diabetes must bring a sufficient personal supply to last their entire trip, including extra in case of delays. Well, also, again, you got to keep it refrigerated. And apparently the refrigerator can't be on all the time. So even if she had it, how would it stay any good? And there's more stuff about that. So she's a liar. She's a big old liar. Enigma 2025, it says, if there was a no-show, then the story of her fainting never happened. She never went. She needed an excuse for why she didn't leave today because she never told anyone when she was leaving. She just said, I want to leave sooner, especially after she yelled. She was fine going to Doha before. Right. Like even when she was in Kuwait. Remember that stream she did in Kuwait? She was freaking out about pause. I got to get out of here. Next thing you know, her butt was back in Canada. No problem. But suddenly now she's having a crisis and can't fly. All right. Fondue Spiteful Beach says, Foodie Beauty, what's the true story about the trip? You rebooked You should have kept the flight. You were a no-show, the medical emergency, or was the truth that there was never a trip to begin with, and you just scammed people out of $4,000 under fraudulent purposes? I believe she did. I believe she did. One moment. Sorry about that. I need to fix the background. I just noticed. There we go. That's better. All right. So moving on. Let's see what we got here. Nothing But Love says animals can sense evil, Chantal. Shenanigans says confirmation that Chantal only adopts pets to feed her own ego. We've been new, but still. Let's watch the clip.
I'm so sad about Juicebox. Hey, Kim. But like today, I called her and she went to Salah. Like she's snobby with me these days. Like she's so attached to Salah. So why am I going to cry over a cat that doesn't even really love me fully? What?
So if they don't give you 100% of their love, then you just don't care. Animals choose their person. There's been many cases where one person buys a pet for another person, and then the pet prefers somebody else, or even the person that bought them. It just happens. Animals choose their person. But if you have this attitude, you never really loved her to begin with.
Whatever.
She's just so mad because the cat does not prefer her, but I'm sure she doesn't treat Julia very well. Oh, Shenanigans says, you hear this, reactors? Chantal has given you all the green light. Really? Let's watch.
Exactly. That's what I always do, you know? And honestly, I'm not even mad. Like, honestly, when I think about it, I'm not even mad people talk about me really anymore because it's attention. It's attention. So I like attention. Thank you. Even if you hate me, thank you. I appreciate it.
So basically what you're saying without saying it, Chantal, is you want the reactors to react to you. Like I'm reading straight through the lines, girl. Yes, you do like attention. You were telling the truth about that. But if you're going to go back to Canada and make the money that you want to make, you want all the reactors reacting to you. Well, that's only going to happen if you do interesting content. This time around, it's going to take more than just you taking a flight from the Middle East back home to Canada. You're going to have to work a little bit harder. You hear me? Because every single time you've gone home to Canada, it's been a bore fest. You go home, nothing changes. What do we see when you go home to Canada? You eating fast food, junk food, going to get your favorite snacks, childhood stories. We've seen it all 10 times over. You want the reactors to react to you. You want them to give them the most attention to you. You're going to have to work a little bit harder. Stop being doggone lazy. Hear me? Thank you. Enigma 2025 says, Chantal said that they gave her a banana after she fainted, but she told them she was diabetic. Why would a doctor give a diabetic bananas if that is a fruit they can't eat? Bananas are high in both carbs and sugar that raises the blood sugar. Let's look. When managing type 2 diabetes, it's important to be mindful of the fruits consumed. Here are some fruits to avoid or limit due to their higher sugar content. And look, bananas at the top of the list. Bananas, high in carbs. Bananas also significantly impact blood sugar levels. Moderation is key. Grapes, naturally sweet. Grapes can raise blood sugar levels. Pairing with protein or a healthy fat can mitigate their impact. Mangoes, high glycemic index. Mangoes can cause rapid blood sugar spikes. Portion control is essential. Dried fruits, often high in sugar. Dried fruits can lead to a larger blood sugar spikes. Opt for fresh or frozen fruits instead. Yeah, and I got a question, and here's an immediate question before we begin doing the react. So she fainted at the airport, right? That's what she said. And she wasn't taken straight to a hospital. They just let her go without her going to a hospital. Does that even make sense? No, it doesn't. That's a medical emergency. I can't see that happening. Somebody fainting at an airport and an ambulance wasn't called or the doctor wasn't called. Okay. Fondue Spiteful Beach says, Chantal, how did you get insulin in Syria? According to you, the doctor said you didn't need it. Where did you get 30 units to inject and then pass out? Why would she inject herself with 30 units? Oh, and here's an older clip from Tia Maria. Foodie Beauty uploaded August 13th video called, Well, I saw a doctor and I'm shocked. Timestamp. Where's your insulin, cutie? Liar, liar proof. Let's watch the clip.
Make it too low for Lex. They have.
Stop forcing so much.
So, and I got my diabetes medication, but the guy didn't want to put me on insulin. Diabetes. Because he said 186, if we put you on too many diabetes meds, it might make it too low. So, I don't know. But in Kuwait, my blood sugars were in the 400s. Now it's 186. That's a lot better.
They give one,
Glucophage. Yeah.
with it.
So I'm on metformin.
I don't believe that story, even if she did see a doctor. Maybe the real story is he couldn't put her on insulin because, she had to go home to Canada for that. But that's just me. But where'd all this insulin come from? Everybody wants to know. And do I believe that Foodie, let's just say she did have insulin though. Do I believe Foodie, if she did not want to leave Syria, if she had some kind of medication or insulin, would she deliberately take too much to create a medical situation just so she could stay longer? Yeah, I believe she would do that. I really believe she would do that. That's something that she would do. But there's also a chance that she didn't even go. She worked something out with Salah and he let her stay. The tone knob says, more classic control freak manipulation from Foodie. She's always willing to fake a medical emergency to get her way. She's punishing Salah and being difficult to remove from his life. He wounded her ego and that will never go unpunished. Love that for him. It might come down to where he might have to call the cops to get her out of there. But that's his battle to fight. We'll see what happens. Let's see here. Tia Maria says, Foodie Beauty, your plane boarded 4:20, take off 4:50. Let's say you and Salah would have taken a minimum 3 hours round trip to get you if you called him the second he walked in the door. But you live streamed your time at 7 p.m. No way. The time frame is impossible. Yep, a lot of things are not lining up. Kristen says, so miraculously, Chantal has rebooked her flight and is definitely 1,000% for sure going home at the end of October, just like she had originally planned. It's almost like she never changed her ticket. Yeah, I don't think she did. I really don't think she did. Enigma 2025 says, I just registered to her fictitious story about her passing out airport trip again. Near the middle of her live, she tells a story about what they did yesterday with Salah taking Sasa food and going on a trip. How does she do all this in one day? Well, liars are going to lie. That's how. Let's see. MJK23 says, so if Foodie Beauty checked in but failed to show up for the flight, her money would not be refunded. She'd have to pay for a new ticket, not a change fee. Unless she got medical clearance from a doctor, seems like none of this crap happened. All right, information about that. Definition of a no-show. A no-show occurs when a passenger misses a flight without informing Qatar Airways or fails to make any required changes or cancellations at least 3 hours before the flight's scheduled departure. Subsequent flights on the same itinerary will be canceled. consequences of a no-show, forfeiture of value. Any avios and cash paid for the ticket are forfeited. Refunds, typically only airport and government taxes may be refunded. Rebooking. If you still wish to travel, the ticket will likely be subject to a no-show fee or a fare difference, depending on your specific fare rules and membership tier. Qatar Airways defines a no-show as failing to change or cancel a reservation within 3 hours of departure, which results in the forfeiture of the ticket value, avios, and cash, with only airport and government taxes typically refunded. The severity of the consequences, including potential flight cancellation and applicable no-show fees or fare differences for rebooking, depending on the fare type and privilege club membership tier. Passengers must contact Qatar Airways directly with supporting documents for exceptions like medical conditions or family emergencies to avoid these penalties. And there's also something funny going on with the luggage, but we'll talk about that later. There's so much here that I could go over, but I don't want to take too long on the Twitter peeps, so we'll just get into the live stream because that sucker is on like 2 hours already. All right, and we're going to skip ahead. Just know that. I can tell you we're going to skip ahead, but I'm going to give Foodie a chance to talk and over-explain and lie, and let's see what lies we can catch her in today. Okay, go ahead, Foodie.
Ready, set, be. How come? Hold on, I have to try to switch it. I couldn't set up members only for chatting when I started my live. So I don't know why. Give me a minute, guys. I'm so annoyed right now. With this technology. Where's my cat? Did she get out? Hold on, guys. 2 minutes. Rebook my ticket. So I did. And to today. And
It's funny how she was at the airport and she fainted. She had this medical emergency thing happening, and yet she's coming home and she's very, very chipper. She's not at least taking a day and relaxing after this incident.
what was Julia saying? So basically, let me know if you can't hear me because I hate repeating myself. My mind is all scattered. I'm trying to get it out. So basically, I had like maybe I couldn't sleep because obviously when you're super nervous. Hey, Lavisa. First of all, I don't think you guys fully understand. Has anyone traveled 30 hours like in economy? Okay, it's 13 hours and a half from Doha to Montreal. Then it's like 2 hours and a half from Damascus too. Okay, but airports are overstimulating. They are busy. The security lines, the lights, everything is just like, oh. Tia, welcome.
This is Foodie acting like you guys don't understand. I go through such an ordeal when I travel. It's an ordeal that you chose to sign up for. You could have stayed in Canada and not traveled anymore, but you want to go to Syria. And because you're a tourist, every few months, you got to get gone. And you've been back and forth from Canada to Kuwait. So these long trips, it's part of the course for you. You just keep doing it rather than just stay in Canada. So don't come at the audience like you guys don't understand. It's such an ordeal. It's an ordeal that you signed up for.
Kind of very poor bees or race at bees. Is it hold on. Cowpat, welcome to very important bees or race at bees. Hold on a second. Okay, I hear it smooth like butter. Okay, go out and come back in maybe, guys. Okay, so basically what happened was, and yes, Harley Quinn, I still have to unblock your account. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. I've traveled 20 hours, exhausting physically. Yeah, I'm just getting to that now. So I was like really anxious about the trip, especially just like deciding to like, I thought I had all this time left to prepare and say goodbyes and stuff. And now I only have like not even a day. I fell asleep at like 5 in the morning and I had to leave here at like 11:30 because it's like an hour and a half to the airport.
That's funny. You're saying that you're exhausted and all that. I don't hear you. You don't sound exhausted to me.
So, um, and I don't like to eat. And that was my mistake.
That in itself is a great big lie. I don't like to eat. Who do you think you're talking to? You don't like to eat. You go 2 hours without food and you're screaming at somebody.
Yeah, I will, Harley Quinn. I didn't eat because I don't want to be like, having to run to the washroom when the washrooms are scarce and I hate airplane washrooms. So I tried not to eat or drink too much. Well, that was fine, but then I don't know. But mix that, I think, with just all of the like dreading the trip and being so emotionally unstable. So Salah waited with me till I had to go through the security. And I make it through security. I make it through immigration. I make it everywhere. I get to the boarding room where you're like about to, board. Fine. Then they made us get on this little bus, which I've had done many times. This little bus, um, hey keeper, to take us to the airplane. And I was walking all this because like I was not sick this time, but I felt like
And you know what's funny? I'm thinking about it. Foodie's not in the best of health. So just walking through an airport is going to get her exhausted. Does she sound exhausted? I don't think she sounds exhausted. Sounds like she never left the house at all.
I felt like lightheaded. Started feeling a bit lightheaded. Um, so I go through. They do that thing where they rip your boarding pass. I get on the bus and there's nowhere to sit, so I'm standing, which is normally the case. I'm holding a bar, and like I just remember feeling like lightheaded, and then almost like everything was like almost like in a dream, but falling asleep. But I don't remember. Like I blacked out for like I don't know. The next thing I remember, I'm like on the ground and people are like around me, and I was just like, "What the hell?" I like did not understand. Like, yeah, I like totally passed out, but I was like feeling a bit lightheaded and dizzy just before that. And my bad too. I don't know if this is stupid, but I forgot to take my insulin last night. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to be.
It, but you don't have any insulin. And you told us a while ago you ran out of insulin. So either you lied then or you're lying now. And even if you got insulin in Syria by some miracle, how are you going to keep it if you have to keep unplugging the fridge?
Be traveling for a long time, and I tested my blood sugar this morning and it was like 14. So I took 30 units of insulin this morning.
Which makes no sense. Why are you taking so much? Again, either you're lying about taking the insulin, which there's a great chance of that, because how in the world did you get insulin over in Syria? Or B, were you trying to incite some sort of medical emergency just so you wouldn't have to leave? And it could be a little bit of both. Because Foodie would do that. She'd be the type that she's so manipulative and so controlling and so toxic that she might do something stupid and overtake some type of medication just to claim to be sick so that she doesn't have to leave Syria.
And yes, I'm an idiot. Please,
Yeah, we know that.
you can be mad at me for this. Like, Anyway, and I didn't eat. I thought that would lower my blood sugar. I was afraid, you know?
Like, what did you care about your blood sugar anyway? How would that matter for flying?
Now, I forgot to bring my blood sugar monitor with me to the airport. So,
So you're planning on leaving, but you didn't take your blood sugar monitor, even though that was supposed to be the final trip home? You're just going to leave that behind?
but I basically had help, like, you know, like, are you okay? You know, like when I came to, I felt all right, like, you know, so I just got up right away. I was super embarrassed.
Sure, like she just got up by herself. Chantal has trouble going from one couch to the other, and she just got up by herself. She had just fainted, and after you faint, like you're feeling very disoriented, very weak. But she just got up by herself. Sure.
You know, like, do you want us to bring a wheelchair? I'm like, no, 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 no. Like, I'm okay. Like, I was super embarrassed. I was kind of like mad. Like, I don't know if you ever get like that, but like everyone was staring. And so,
The fact that she's over explaining and giving a lot of detail, that in itself is a red flag that she's lying. This feels like somebody who did something or maybe didn't do something, and they got to come up with a story. And so she's coming up with a story and she's giving a lot of detail in an effort to make the story seem real. But it's not real. She's just improvising as she goes.
and I was just like, what the hell just happened? Like, I was shaking. I was shaken. I was shaking. And so, like, the two people from like the Qatar Airways helped me, and they sat me down inside. It was air conditioned in there. And no, it was on the floor. It was like, it was, you know, those buses that take you to your plane. Yeah, when people come, they're always like, whenever I no, I was like defensive a bit, because like, not defensive, but like I was kind of confused, and like, what, like everyone was staring at me and I was so embarrassed. Yeah, like it was scary, because like, have you ever fainted? You know that feeling of like, you just completely black out for like even a second. I don't know how long it was, but I just remember like I was like on the ground, but like I was so discombobulated.
Chantal,
And
I don't
then
know if you went to the airport for real. There's a 50-50 chance you didn't even go to the airport, that all of this is a made up lie from start to finish. But if there's a chance this story might be real, that you did go to the airport, you did have a medical situation, maybe that you might have induced yourself in an effort to stay in Syria with Salah a little bit longer. How many times do you think that's actually going to work? Do you think every single time you're supposed to leave, you can just pull some nonsense and then he'll just let you stay? It might work once, but it may not work twice or three times.
oh my gosh, imagine doing all that with Julia. Oh my gosh. But anyway, so I had changed my flight, which cost money. And
Ma'am, shut up. I changed my flight, but it costs money. Yeah, other people's money. So what are you complaining about? Heck, the plane ticket that you got to get to Syria in the first place, that was bought with Beezer money. And the ticket back home, also bought with Beezer money. You wouldn't have any money if it weren't for YouTube. So, shh.
somebody, thank God for you. You helped me with that, so thank you. Anyway, do you think it? I don't know. Like, so they thought maybe it was, they're like, do you have any health issues? Like, some man came. I don't know if he was like a doctor, what he was. He was a
That is another red flag. So she's in the middle of an airport, right? Allegedly. Then a doctor just happens to show up right then and there. Does that sound even possible?
he was a guy from Syria, and he came to talk to me, and he's like, do you have like health issues? Like, he helped. His English was like all right. And then I said, well, I have diabetes. I don't think it was I don't know if they just have like a doctor on retainer, but honestly, here things are different. Yeah, like, I don't know. So No, I missed my flight. Like they wouldn't, they didn't. They're like, are you feeling okay? Like, honestly, we don't know if we feel comfortable recommending that you fly in this condition. You know, you should probably go to have your husband bring you to a hospital and rebook. You can always rebook, like for a fee or whatever. I'm like, yeah, another fee. Like, I'm just happy I'm okay.
And something that somebody pointed out, look, I'm not a diabetic and I don't take insulin nor metformin nor anything like that. But if Chantal took 30 units of insulin before she left, she and Salah had a long drive to the airport. Wouldn't she have kind of crashed out on the way to the airport rather than at the airport right before boarding? Yeah, because I would imagine it would lower the blood sugar way, way, way dangerously low if that was the case. Like the insulin would have hit her a lot sooner, I think.
Hey, that's not my issue, but I know I've never had low blood sugar, so I never thought that that would happen. And I don't know if it was low blood sugar, but they sat me down and they gave me this little, like, it's in my thumbnail of my previous live. It was like a little kit with like a banana and juice and
So the guy's a doctor. You told him that he had diabetes and he gives you a banana?
water. And I was like, how many people pass out from, like, you know, how many people have diabetic issues at the airport? I'm at Salah's house because
And I'd like to point this out. Okay, so let's just say this was real. Chantal went to the airport and she got low blood sugar. What she could have done was rebook her flight for the next day. Just get a room or something, stay right there, rebook for the next day. Why didn't she do that?
he dropped me off at the airport an hour and a half away, an hour and 40 minutes about. He came back home, all the way back home. As soon as he got home, and he was really tired. As soon as he got home, um,
Carefree says too much insulin. You have to eat after you take insulin. And Chantal's a diabetic, and she's been a diabetic for years, and I'm sure she's been told that, and she knows that. So why didn't she do it? Why would somebody who's a diabetic, who knows they have diabetes, who knows that they have to eat when they take their insulin, why would they refuse to eat unless either A, it's a complete lie that she took insulin in the first place, or B, maybe she wanted a medical emergency to happen so she didn't have to fly out?
I called him and said, "Hey, I'm at the airport. I passed out. Um, they don't think I should fly today. You know, blah blah blah." And so I was very shaky. Like, I was just like, you know, and like super just like, thank you. Like, that was like, anyway. So basic.
And I know this is going to sound really mean. And I'm sorry, it's something to think about, okay? So here's a couple of other possibilities that if Chantal really went to the airport, why she did not get on the airplane. Possibility number one, and this is something that Chantal has done in the past, that Chantal doesn't buy the proper number of seats. She should be buying at least 2 seats to fly anywhere because she's a woman of a bigger size. But Chantal, in the past, many, many times over, she'll only get 1 seat. And then she crosses her fingers that nobody will sit beside her, or that the staff inside of the airplane, they'll put her somewhere where she can sit by herself and she won't have to pay for that other seat. There was an incident a while ago that she took a flight and the flight was delayed because Foodie was sitting in somebody else's seat. But she's cheap. She doesn't want to buy 2 seats. She only wants to pay for 1. She's denying the fact that she needs 2 seats. So who's to say if she went to the airport and she tried to get on and just have 1 seat, and the staff told her, look, ma'am, you need 2 seats. If all you got is 1 seat, you need to rebook with 2. Another possibility, and it's just a thing. If you're someone and you try to get on an airplane and you are not fairly clean or smell fairly clean, if you're smelling rather dirty, if you are rather odorous, and it's enough that it would disturb the other passengers, they can refuse you entry onto the airplane. So again, who's to say if Foodie maybe went to the airport, she did not shower, she did not bathe, and the body stench was strong enough to where the staff told her, ma'am, I'm sorry, you have to go home and bathe yourself and then come back. So this whole made up story about this medical incident, it could be something else that she doesn't want to talk about. Hence the over explaining of details that don't make sense.
Basically, I don't know. I'm not like, I don't know. Like, am I mentally and physically able to travel right now, or should I just try to tough it out another few weeks or whatever, you know, and keep like the original date? I can ask them to waive the fee, but they didn't sound like they were going to. I like just came to and they're like talking about for a fee. Like, hello, no. You shake, really?
You know, when it comes to Chantal, she'll never be ready for travel. What's a few more weeks going to do? That's just going to give her more opportunity to sit on her butt, do nothing, seal, and get another 50 pounds. And I don't know if that's the plan, if she plans on eating and eating and eating until she makes herself bedbound. I mean, I honestly do wonder that if she's trying to make herself bedbound to where she feels that Salah and Syria have to keep her. But if that is the plan, it's a bad plan. But she's never going to be travel ready, not in her condition.
Really, teardrop? That's never happened to me. I've never had low blood sugar. Nicole, Mark. The thing is like, I felt a little better after the banana, but I tried to go today. Herf. Thanks for the super chat. I tried to go today, and trust me, I tried to go.
No, you didn't. I bet you didn't try to go. I bet you didn't even make it past the front door. Maybe this live stream was a response because the Beezers have been on your butt about you got enough money, go back to Canada. So you were in trouble with the Beezers. What happens when you get in trouble with the Beezers? There's always some kind of medical crisis or medical emergency. Anybody can go back to your history and see it for themselves. You get in trouble, then you do something to deflect away from being in trouble. So you got in trouble, and here we go. Here's the deflection.
Go to the hospital and get cleared. Yeah, I have to go to a doctor and get, like, I need to get, like, my diabetes.
Our internet's terrible.
I don't know. Yeah. My mental health is deteriorating. Hey, Nina, but I feel like it's really bad. Like, it's like the thought of even, like, when I got to the airport, I'm like, oh my gosh, don't have a panic attack. Don't have a panic attack. Like, I'm so, like...
So what's making your mental health erode? What is going on that your mental health is not good? I mean, it could be any number of factors, but who is bothering you? Why is it getting so bad? And is staying in Syria for another 3 weeks actually going to make things better? No.
Like, the other day, like, when I was panicking, medical transport from Syria? I don't know. Fanny like that, they're not going to let you fly. They're very picky. They're very finicky on that, eh? Like, they don't play. Like, even when I had trouble breathing, and I just, like, asked somebody for a wheelchair when I was coming, and tell everybody what happened. Because, you know, me. Anyways, I'm just effed right up. Like, I'm so effed up.
You can say that again.
I don't know why. So I can fly out ASAP. The journey is, I don't know if I'm ready to do it after all this.
Chantal, you're never going to be ready to do it. Again, you got what, another maybe 2 or 3 weeks before you have to leave. What's going to be the difference between now and 3 weeks from now? How will you be more ready in 3 weeks? What are you going to do to make yourself ready? You know what I think? I think you are a control freak and you're out of control right now for yourself. You don't have control of Salah. And the only way you feel secure with him is to keep him close. But if you go home to Canada, then he's no longer under your control. And you're afraid of what he might say about you. So you would have nothing to worry about if you had maybe treated him well. But I'm sure things behind the scenes are pretty bad. And you are worried about what he might say. Once you're out of Syria, he can say whatever he wants, and that scares the crap out of you.
This is like, oh my gosh, I don't know. And I know if I delay it, it's only worse. But it's such an arduous journey. And like when you're not well, and I'm worse healthy wise, mentally and physically. And don't think I realized that until this happened today. Next time, eat and go. It's not that easy. It is a killer. It's not just the flight, it's the whole journey. It's messed up. The glucose levels. Yeah. Hey, Carefree. I don't have a history of fainting. I've fainted like once when I was...
Sorry, her internet is terrible today.
A panic attack at your sister's graduation and fainted in front of 300 people. Oh, 3,000 people. Lorraine, I'm sorry that happened to you. Try not to focus on the difficult. I really do, Jen Marie. I really do. I swear. If I didn't do that, if I didn't try to be positive, I'm just like, I wanted to do members only because I don't want to hear people like I don't want people to say, see, she's not going to Canada. And like that to me is being 100% dismissive of like what I went through, and it was like traumatic for me. And so I don't want that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like it was just really awful day. Like honestly. Moving from Syria. Yeah, it's I don't know. That's what they're going to say. I know. They can say what they want, but at least right now in my chat, we have positive vibes because I need that. Thank you, Carefree. So I tried to leave, but the powers that be. No, those are just people watching hardly. You don't have to be a member to watch. Anyway, I'm just not doing well. You know what you have to do, but you've been totally honest about not knowing what the hell you were going to do. Yeah.
You know, I also think she did this live stream because people were in her own chat were questioning, do you really want to leave? Are you really going to leave? You're just sitting there collecting money from all of us, and there's not a vibe of you really want to go. Some people were actually questioning, are like you and Salah in on a scam together? Because the two of you, you're supposed to be separating, and yet he's still a mod in your chat. He's setting up goals for you, like something don't smell right in the water. So again, I think that might have been deflection from all of that because people were starting to ask questions.
Exactly. That's right. Thank you, Julia Dixon. No, that's okay, hardly. For insulin, I just
And you beezers are incredible. So this person, Foodie Beauty, is in front of you right now, not even showing her face. In my opinion, she's not showing her face because she knows she's lying. And she knows when she lies that when we look at her, we can tell with her darty eyes. But she went to the airport. She took 30 units of insulin, allegedly. She did not eat with the insulin. So she screwed up with her insulin, if she even took it. So she screwed up and went to the airport, had herself an incident, and you guys are giving her money for that, for being stupid.
I usually take it at night on a full stomach. Granny, starting.
And by the way, Foodie, if you woke up in the morning and your blood sugar was 14, which is double than what it should be, you know what that tells me? Because you kind of told on yourself by saying that. That tells me that before bed, you ate a whole bunch of food. So much so that in the morning, your blood sugar was still 14. So you're eating massive amounts of food before bed, girl.
Now make a list of things you have to take with you, like your monitor you forgot. Carry a list with you and be sure everything on list and suitcase and carry when you leave. Yeah, thank you, Granny. Yeah, for sure. I gotta do that. I have to do that. Yeah, I know. I need purse snacks. Christina. I'm sorry, Christina. I haven't even checked my email yet. I know I have to get back to you and I'm so sorry. It wasn't random, but I don't know. I have to reset. I know, Lavisa, yeah. No, I'm not going to get money back for my ticket. It's a no-show, even though it's a medical emergency. I'm going to get some of it back, actually. I think there's a no-show fee, but then I get the rest. Or actually, if I rebook it, I think it's just a rebook fee, actually. Sorry. Salah's not mad, no. Thanks, Monica. When I came home, and it made it so much harder because when I came home, Julia was like all over me, and I'm just like,
No, she wasn't.
a change fee, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I have to figure that out. Sometimes I turn around. What is LDR? Oh, long distance relationship. Maybe you just missed Salah. I didn't feel that way. Like when I was getting on the bus, I was like excited to I had told all my family, I'm applying for places, like.
Yeah, but you've also been in your chats telling us, Chantal, that you haven't found a place yet. So it's not like you were getting on this flight, you had a place picked out, everything was set up. So when you got off the plane, you have a place to live. So essentially, according to you, you were going home with no place to live. That's what you said. I really don't know where I'm going yet. I've been applying for places, but I haven't found anything yet. So isn't it funny the chain of events that you're talking about? Strange how you take 30 units of insulin, even though you as a tourist, you can't get insulin in Syria. You as a diabetic, you know you can't take that much. And not eating with your insulin feels like you trying to hurt your body so you don't have to go. Because once you got to Canada, where would you go?
This really just Ugh. I'm just
So either you went to the airport and beforehand you set something up to where you could not leave and you couldn't fly out, or you didn't go at all. Which is it?
so messed up from it. Like, you know, I was feeling okay. Like mentally, like I wasn't sad. I wasn't super sad at that time. Like it comes and goes. It's good that Salah there for you. Yeah. How was the goodbye?
She probably got triggered thinking about Salah's going to have too much fun when I'm gone. He's going to have way too much fun. She just can't stand the idea of somebody else having fun, and then she can't control them.
Mm, very emotional. How long we've been in the purse? I really like. I fed Julia her wet food. Like I fed her wet food, and I like kissed her fur, and I said like I thought that was the last time I was gonna feed her.
Please. You're acting all emotional about Julia when you had BBJ for what, 19 years? Something like that. And you had no problem with neglecting her, not feeding her. So why would you get all emotional about Julia and not BBJ?
So like I'm not gonna lie, I'm happy to see her for sure.
Oh, shut up. You don't care about animals.
No, I'm back at the house, Andre Marie. Granny, you can do this when you're ready. Get some exercise, even just walking laps. You'll be okay. Think positive. Yeah, I need. Thank you, Granny. Thank you. I really agree. Oh, Nina. Thank you. I agree. Like, I'm not in good shape at all. I'm really not. And I know it's my fault.
Yep.
I carry pumpkin seeds, peanuts, cashews, soft granola bars, hard candy, and case blood sugar.
All of you Beezers, you guys are so sympathetic to Chantal, but let me tell you something. A lot of Chantal's health problems are self-inflicted. You hear me? They are self-inflicted. And she's had all kinds of money for many years to fix a lot of her issues. But Chantal has willingly given up almost 100% of her mobility and 100% of her health. Why? Because she insisted on doing the Foodie content. That's what she got known for on YouTube, and she decided to make a whole lifetime of it. And, you know, the effects of doing that kind of content just started showing up on her body, and she just never put a stop to it. She just has this entitled attitude of, I'll become a burden with burdens, with problems, and everybody else around me will just have to adjust and take care of me. That is her attitude of, I can lay back and I'll be everybody else's problem to take care of.
Or too low. Meat sticks. I love meat sticks. I'm so hungry right now, but I don't. You know when you're like hungry, but you don't have an appetite because you're so stressed out? The worst part is the start. I know. Ripping off the Band-Aid. I know. Drink fluids. Yes, Lavisa. Salty fruit. You have to do the work. I know.
And she's not going to do the work. Any beezer over there thinking that when Chantal gets to Canada and she's going to hit the ground running and start walking and doing the health content, well, good luck with that. Truly. I mean, like there's an old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Once they are set in their ways, it's hard to change them. And she is very much set in her ways. Even though she's got a bunch of health problems and that should be a warning sign to change things, she's not going to. But y'all will figure that out in time. There's no need for me to push it with you guys. You'll figure it out.
Yes. That's the daunting part, Nicole. The resolution comes when you're back in Canada, so does the peace of mind and heart. Yeah. Yeah. Just want to know where the gold is. I know, Monica. Me too. Cause like, man, I just love her so much. When I was feeding her today, I thought, oh no, not my baby.
You don't care. Stop. You don't care about Julia.
Thank you, Christina, for making me feel better. It does. Positive, nice positive words, you know? But so basically what they do is, because I asked, they're like, okay, you're just gonna sit here. They ask if you want to be transported to the hospital, and I just said my husband would take me. But I kind of lied, I guess. I can't leave tomorrow.
So isn't that something? Like, she's having this medical event. He didn't take her to the hospital. She fainted, according to her, but no hospital. No, she didn't want to go to the hospital. She just wanted to go back home to his house. Mission accomplished.
Harley Quinn, I'm not well. I don't even know why I passed out. What if it happens again? I gotta go to the doctor. That's why. He asked you if you carried the weight of the world on your.
And I don't think she really wants to go to any doctor. Because if Chantal got a head to tail checkup of all of her health issues, that might make it bad with Salah. I don't think Salah even knows how bad Foodie really is. And if he knew, he'd be shocked. And he would be insistent on putting her on the next plane. I don't think she knows about her health problems. I don't think he knows. But if he knew, and he would know if he took her to a doctor in Syria, he would go, oh my God, you got to go home now. This is crazy.
Your shoulders, teardrop. Big hugs. You need all the positive. Thank you. So basically, I said, what about my luggage? He said, oh, well, that's what we're doing. He's like, just wait here about 20 minutes. We got to get your luggage, find your luggage. So they took the little luggage tags that they give you there when you check in.
That's another lie she's telling. She's trying to insinuate that her luggage was checked in and it was on the airplane and they didn't even delay the airplane and they got her luggage off the airplane. That's impossible. And Chantal, I know this for fact because many, many years ago, I unfortunately missed my flight. And why is that? Because I was in Vegas with my boyfriend at the time. And unfortunately, us being stupid, went to a buffet and got food poisoning, the both of us. And was feeling the effects of the food poisoning. But the way that the Las Vegas airport is set up, you check in your luggage when you first get out of the car. And then because the airport is so huge, it's so big, it takes a while to get to your airplane. So we were running late and the luggage went, but we did not. We took the next flight the next day. So no airplane is going to stop and search through all of the luggage to find yours before it takes off. No, ma'am.
I checked in one big luggage and a carry-on luggage, so I just had my CPAP in my bag. And then he said somebody came after a while, and I was talking to Salah, and then he said, "Okay, you can come with me." I said, "What about immigration? Like I just left. They stamped my passport saying I left the country. I had a visa." Thanks, Teardrop. Yeah, me too. And then. Believe me, I was excited to be going.
You're a liar. She always says the opposite of what she means. How could she be excited to come home to Canada if she has no place to stay in Canada? If she had a place to stay in Canada, I'm sure it would have been different, and I'm sure there wouldn't have never been a medical emergency. But if she would have been getting on that plane to go home to Canada, she would have been getting off the plane in Canada going, now what? Where am I going to go? Where am I going to stay? She has no idea. So, of course, she's going to stall and stay in Syria for another few weeks.
Like, I was just talking to my mom and my aunt and making plans like for like the future and stuff. Anyway, which will just be delayed a bit, I guess. More oxygen? I don't know. I need to go to a doctor. You got a plan but no timeline. Yeah. Tell the doctor everything right. So then they escorted me out of that room there, the boarding room, and I had to go through he gave my passport to one of the reps somewhere, I don't even know. And then they, I guess, reverse the stamp. I don't know how.
And isn't it funny that somebody who just fainted, that should be disoriented for quite a while after fainting, was able to remember all these details?
I have to check my let me check my passport. I'm curious what they wrote on it. I'm anguished. Yeah, you're right. It was awful. I still dream about it. Like, I just dream almost every night, I swear. I have very same dreams. And the one dream is always just all of a sudden remembering I have cats. And then I'm like, oh yeah. And I go, BBJ Sam. And they both just come out of like under the couch or out of nowhere. And I'm like,
Chantal, stop. You don't really care about animals. We're all aware of this. You willingly gave up Sam and BBJ. You gave them up as quickly as you could because you want to get over to Salah and start your new life. And so you did. And the same thing back when you were in Canada. You had Smokey. You chucked him away. And now you're about to leave Syria and leave another pet behind.
how are you guys still alive? I haven't fed you in like years. But they're fine. And then I feel like a big sense of relief, like life is complete. So we picked up like a couple of things of shawarma and a couple of things of fries, and she calls them batata, and she loves batata. Like, there's nothing more she loves than batata. She's like obsessive about it. Yeah, true, Christina. You have a point. You're right. It's just an insecurity, I guess. Cuter than a ray of light. Hey, Sneakerhead, I'm good. How are you? So she had her share of food and French fries. And there was a thing of leftover French fries for Salah. Poor Salah gets everything eaten because he was driving, so he didn't really have time to eat too much because we were all just eating and kind of like in the car. So I was like kind of feeding him some shawarma, but the French fries, he's like, just leave some French fries for me for later. So I put them on the dashboard in front of us. And, an hour goes by. We go to like a little creek. We dropped them off at the place they were staying and at some relatives they were staying at. And all I hear is my door slowly open, and Sasa is side-eyeing me the whole time, like trying to sneak. She's like a sneaky beezer. And all I see is her arm. I pretend not to really look. All I see is her little hand reach for the batata, and she stole the potato. She stole the French fries from the dash. The little beezer. And then I turn around and I caught her. I go, Sasa, halami, meaning like thief. And she just went, like yes, in Arabic, and then went, come. Like she was trying to change the subject from me to forget about the French fries. Like, come in the house. So funny. Crisco Windows, if you can't make it now, you never will. Well, I mean, that's your opinion. I don't know. I understand your point. Like, in order for me to really make it, then I'll have to do the hard work and become a bit healthier.
And you're going to do all that in 3 weeks? So today is the 4th. She's talking about leaving at the end of the month. That gives her less than 3 weeks. What kind of changes could Chantal do in 3 weeks that would make her travel ready? That's not a long time to make changes.
and stuff. So
And sorry guys, like I've been watching her for years. Chantal uses different things for self-soothing. Food is number one on the list. The closer it gets to the time of leaving, the more it's going to trigger her, the more nervous she's going to get, the more irritable she's going to get, and the more she's going to eat. It always happens that when she knows that it's time to do something, instead of gearing herself up to do it, she will do more and more and more self-soothing.
anyway, thanks for the super chat. Crisco, yes, she will. Thanks, Teardrop. She's too cute. She really is too cute. She's so cute. Yes, and I love spoiling her when she comes over. I understand my grandmother giving me anything I wanted when I went over there. If I was looking at something and I said, "This is nice," she would say, "Do you want it?" And I do that all the time with Sasa, to the point where even the parents are like, "No, give that back to Miriam," because they don't want to spoil her. They want to teach her manners. They want to teach.
This is Chantal trying to go against the feeling that she's put out for years to the community of she hates kids. And she said she hates kids. She used to have a big problem with kids playing out in the hallway when she was in Kuwait. Why all of a sudden now she loves kids?
Sure, you know, you can't have everything you want. It's not. We do that in confirmation. Really? I love spending my summers in Texas with my grandparents. It's natural to be sad at leaving too. Yeah, it is natural. Yeah, it's not a easy decision, but sometimes doing the right.
Mark says if she is lying, she's putting on a great performance. This would be pathological. That's Chantal. And something of note, just to remember, Chantal has always said that as far as her channel is concerned, this is her story. Notice the choice of words. It's not her life experiences or her life, it's her story. Now, anyone out there that's ever read a book or watched a movie, then you know a story could be half true or mostly false or completely made up. Chantal also talked about how once upon a time that she was interested in being part of a reality show. But she didn't like the fact that on a reality show, you have to adhere to a schedule, you only get a certain salary. So what did Chantal do? She decided to make her own version of a reality show here on YouTube. And as you already know, reality shows are scripted. They're made up. Chantal is the sole producer, the writer, the director of her own YouTube reality show. And she can take as many liberties with her show as she wants to. And that includes lying to her audience. She just makes up the story as she goes, but it doesn't have to always be true. And lies to her are just another way to add to the story.
The thing is just really hard. But I just like what is stupid is like people like don't know the definition of scam. Like literally, if you ask for money, and you don't use it for its intended purpose, okay, fine.
Like, so do you still have all that PayPal money, Chantal? That was nearly $1,000. That money was for getting you home. You still got it? I don't think you still have it. I think it's all gone. And I think whatever PayPal donations that people have sent you since then, those are also gone. I think the only money you're going to have in pocket is the next YouTube paycheck. Because everything else before it, it's already gone and spent.
Like, but Whatever.
And also something of note, Beezers. Something you guys may or may not know. So there was one live stream or video that Chantal did where she talked about sitting down to have lunch with a friend of hers. And this friend would sit there and tell stories, very engaging stories. And Chantal, had her ears perked up about, this person sits down for hours and tells these engaging stories with lots of detail. Something that Chantal does on her channel a lot. Like, she tells these stories as a way to keep you guys engaged and also to run up the meter to make more money through Google AdSense.
A flat tire? I know, Nicole, right? Oh no. Does he know how to change tires? Your alarm, your brain pill, take your brain pill. And he knows me. He knows me well. He knows that I forget my meds. So he said it like several times and I still forgot. It's hard to let go of the dreams you had. Exactly. It's letting go of what could have been, what you thought was going to happen. It's like you're like grieving that. Leaving my phone gonna die. I didn't charge my phone gonna die. But on the bright side, on the flip side, I'm kind of happy to have another day with Julia. If I'm honest. What did he get me?
Chantal, you are selfish. You've been around Salah for 3 years. And I don't know exactly how long you've been in Syria, but you've had plenty of time to plan for this day when you would have to go home to Canada. And you're not wanting to go back just because you didn't plan. You know that Salah, when you're gone, his life will go on. He'll find a way to support himself. He's got his family. Maybe he has a family already. He's got his immediate family. I don't know if he's getting married. I don't know if he has a wife, a mother of his children. But you don't have a life waiting for you in Canada. So I think you take some kind of pride or joy in knowing that you are stopping Salah from living. Like, you're delaying the start of his new life just because you don't want to start your new life.
Look at it this way. No man has a conscience. So hating each other will be inevitable. I understand, okay, ladies. Barbara, I think he's going to get roasted, which is not healthy, I know. I can't find my compression socks. I thought they were brought from Kuwait, but.
So you were supposed to get on an airplane, very, very long flight. You need compression socks. So you weren't even wearing them when you went to the airport? Okay.
Do you ever just feel like men, you just wish sometimes they were a little more, they're kind of like not emotionally, No. Women are so emotional and men are not. Well, I don't know. I don't like to generalize.
Chantal, this whole thing with you and Salah has always been a business arrangement. It's just business. And if you do business with somebody, it doesn't mean they have to be in love with you. They owe you no emotion because it's just business.
They can be, though. Yeah, I remember you saying that, Teardrop. Like, you know what?
You ask entirely too much from people that you do business with. You bring them on a YouTube, you set up a business deal. Hey, be part of my YouTube channel and I'll throw you some money. But then you ask too much. You expect too much. You're like, fall in love with me and give me emotional responses and understand me if I get jealous and possessive, even though I have no right to be, because we're not really involved. I mean, you want too much.
I mean, like, what the hell? This is a way of coping. Because, like, think about it. Like, he probably didn't think it was funny. But some people just laugh at really inappropriate times. And for, like, no, yeah, it's just him. Hey, Bobby Joe. My husband is the strong, silent type. He's a Marine vet from Desert Storm. Operation Desert Storm? You're a pizza slice now. Is that what pizza's memberships are called? That's so funny. Why did I call him pizza? I don't know. I'd be the one laughing at a funeral. See? I've been accused of being foodie. uh, oh, scrape.
Oh, eating noises. Moving on.
All the comforts.
Lord, is she eating again?
Married 4 days. You think it's because I didn't eat? Yeah, normally I don't like eating when I travel. I'm too nervous. I don't want to have the runs. I'm clenching my, double fisting my Life brand anti-diarrhea. Also, Tracy, Qatar is like 2 hours. Canada is a 30-hour journey. Hey, Glitter Queen. Blood everywhere? Where? What? It helped you really, ECP? The United States have mass shootings here almost every day now. It's insane. Yeah, I really, like can't get over that. Ugh. That's not a good idea. Yeah. If I fainted on the plane or had a medical emergency on the plane, they would have to reroute the flight and land, and then I'd be like, oh my gosh, who knows what hospital I'd be at without medical insurance, and like just the thought gives me panic attacks. Yeah, they would have had. They're very finicky.
Okay, you know what? She's kind of repeating herself. So tell y'all what. Let's cut this off here. There's still a few more reacts I'd like to look at before I have to go. So this may be a bit shorter, but she's just a broken record. So I hope you guys enjoyed this react. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.